everyone. How's it going out there? I'm so glad to be live again. I haven't been live in a while. I did 30 days of live straight, and I loved it and I hated it. And then I went live, I think like once more in between, and then I got a cold, and it lasted for a while. And I haven't had a cold in a couple of years because of all the masking and staying inside and isolating. And so my brain and my body were like, we're too sick to do anything. And I didn't go live for a while. So I'm glad to be back. Let me know if you're here in the chat. And I'm really excited to get started talking to you about virtual co-working, accountability, all kinds of fun stuff. So I want to, I'm not getting any comments, so I just want to check another device. Oh, there's a comment. Hey, Chris, thanks so much for being here. So glad to see you. There we go. There you are. Out of practice on this thing. What is this machine? We've got Chris Nixon saying, hey there, tame your to-do list. Ooh, what a good headline. We need that, I think. So I'm so glad to be here. I was just saying I took some time off of being live to go and have a cold, which sounds like not a big deal, but it's kind of a big deal when you haven't had a cold in a while, and when you've been, living the at-home life. So I'm glad to be back. And tonight I'm going to be talking about accountability, virtual co-working, replacing curse words with fun words like flag, and blueberry, and ham sandwich, and anything else you want to talk about. If something comes up for you, you want to know about, you want to ask me about, throw it in the comments. I'm glad to have the conversation. So I want to tell you a story about accountability and me, actually two stories. So my first accountability story is a situation with my friend and co-coach, John Spears, who you may know from lives I've had with John and also from our new podcast, I Could Talk to You All Day. Little plug for that. It's a podcast for leaders and emerging leaders to talk about like the real stuff, the kind of stuff you hear me talk about, the kind of stuff you've heard John and me talk about when we've gone live together, the stuff we both post about, just like the real about being leaders and human all at the same time. But anyway, so John and I were talking a couple of months ago, and he mentioned that he wanted some extra accountability. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'm happy to help. Like, I'm perfect. I'm happy to help you with whatever you need, but I'm fine over here on accountability. And so he recommended, a spreadsheet that we could look at together, that we could put our habits into that we wanted to build, and we could meet once a week and talk about those habits. And I'm like, anything you need, anything for you, no problem. All the while not acknowledging that I also needed accountability. And so I got like real mad when it worked for me, and I started building habits that I wasn't doing because I had an accountability partner, because I had somebody to be with in my habit building and talk to about, hey, this habit's not working for me, or, this thing's not making me happy. And, or like, I'm just not doing this, and I need you to give me a little push. And so we've had these great moments in talking, and as I'm thinking about all of this, I owe some updates to the Habit app that we are using, which is awesome, and I'm going to tell you the name of it. If you need a habit tracker, it's called Habit Share. Habit Share. It's on the iPhone. I don't know if it's on Android. I mean, I kind of assume it's on Android, because how could it not be on Android? But it is freaking amazing, and it is it allows you to put in your habits. It allows you to share habits or not share habits. If I have like a secret habit, which I don't, but if I have a secret habit, I can have my own secret habits, and I can have stuff that's public that like not public, but that like John can see. Um, and we're both developing new habits. For me, I'm trying to drink more protein, which sounds counteractive, but um, uh, and I'm trying to drink more water and trying to make sure I'm on LinkedIn every day and tracking it and seeing how I'm doing is really cool. Um, Margot says, Cargo Margot, love that. Ross Brous leads the best accountability group. We have openings. Habit share. How cool is that? So cool. I'm going to talk about an accountability group I have as well, Margot. So thanks for that intel, and I'll tell you also what I'm doing. But so John and I have this rhythm that once a week we're meeting, we're talking about our habits, and I got like really mad that I needed it because I have this like imaginary vision that I'm perfect in some world, that I'm perfect and I don't need anybody's help and everything is great on my own. It's a lesson that I keep learning over and over and over about myself and about uh, how I partner with people. Is that I'm constantly pleasantly surprised that I can receive help because I'm a high achiever, I'm an independent person, I'm the person who helps other people. And those are the people who are attracted to me. Those are the clients who are attracted to me. And the people in my community who I've become friends with are people who are like, I've always done everything by myself. And then I suddenly realized other people can help me. So having this accountability partnership, I then got a call from a friend who I've known since college, and she's working on a certification. And she said, like, I'm having trouble sitting down and doing it. And excuse me. And I really want to, but like, I'm just not sitting down to do it. And so we started virtually co-working. And so she and I did that for several weeks. She got a ton of work done towards her certification. And same thing. I came in I don't think I sound condescending, but like in my head, I'm like, you're helping her. This is not about you. Um, which is so dumb because, like, of course I need help. My entire last 2 or 3 years I wouldn't be anywhere. I would not be on this live if I hadn't asked for, received, and gotten just so much support and help. Um, but it's like the high achiever mindset that is like, no, I should just be able to do everything myself. I'm the vice president of things, or I'm the director of things. I should just be able to run everything. My own life should be easy because I know how to do a whole bunch of stuff. And the truth is, like, we're not good at ourselves. We're good at other people. We're good at helping with things and products and services and people's needs. We aren't amazing at convincing ourselves to do things. And so this friend and I were co-working a couple of mornings a week, and she was getting done what she needed to get done, and I was freaking killing it. I was monotasking, which is a new term for me, which is the opposite of multitasking, which is not real. There is no such thing as multitasking. You cannot actually do two things at once. You can task switch, and you can task switch frequently. You may notice if you're like watching TV and doing work, and then you realize you're either not paying attention to the work or the TV, so you either like rewind the TV and pause it so that you can catch up on the work, or you end up like not paying a lot of attention to one thing or the other. So we've had this like myth for years that we're all really good multitaskers. It turns out I'm a really good task switcher. But what actually serves me is monotasking. One thing. What is one thing I'm going to work on? And so when we started working together, our one thing, we would start our call, set an intention for the one thing we were going to work on. For her, it was chapters and tests. For me, it's been I'm going to spend an hour on graphics. I'm going to spend an hour writing emails, or I'm going to spend an hour preparing for a speaking engagement. And we would come back at the end of the hour or the hour and a half or 2 hours that we were working together and talk about what we had accomplished. And it was so amazing to sit with one person, set intention, get the work done or not, and then talk about like how far we've gotten, did we bite off too much, and really celebrate with each other that we had sat together for an hour for some uninterrupted work. And so this led me to building virtual co-working space. And I've started with 1 day a week. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursdays, and it is your opportunity to monotask. It's your opportunity to have some accountability, to have some company, and to focus. And it's not just for corporate people, and it's not just for coaches. I'm a coach. My friend is not a coach. She's coming. Lingering cold, sorry. Um, but it's this awesome space. And we're only a couple of weeks in. We've only had a couple of sessions. I'm doing it every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you come in, we spend 5 minutes together intention setting, putting it out there verbally on Zoom, what we're gonna do for the hour. We then spend 50 minutes, so it's like a therapist hour, it's a 50-minute hour. We then spend 50 minutes doing the work, being on video but off mic, mic's on mute. There was one week somebody needed a little support, needed an idea, put it in the chat, and so we had a little bit of a chat going back and forth for just a minute, to get some advice. And then we came back at the last 5 minutes to round us out to an hour to talk about what we'd accomplished. And we've had someone clear off their desk that they hadn't done in a year. We had somebody preparing for a speaking engagement. I did a preparation for a series of emails that I'm going to be sending out. Um, Studying, job searching. It's just a concentrated hour for you to do some work. So cool. And the feedback we got was like, this was the best because I've been putting off this thing, haven't gotten myself to sit down and do it. And now, like, I'm accountable because I'm in a room, a virtual room, but a room full of people. And there's something really cool about being able to be in a room with people. And uh, so now I'm doing it every Thursday. It's $11. And I've gotten questions from a couple of people like, we're just sitting in a room. Why are you charging me $11? The monster in my head who's like, do everything for free. Don't charge anybody for anything. Is like, they're right. Why are you charging money for this? And here's the thing. If you're going to be accountable, you're going to have to invest. It's $11 for an hour. You can do it, drop in every, once in a while. You can do it every week. It's $11. Once we get a little bit of momentum, I'm going to have a monthly fee that will give you it'll be 33 for the month. So you get one session per month for free. But it's a way to do some really concentrated work and to really give yourself the opportunity to be sat down or around your room if you're cleaning something up, but to be sat down doing something and doing something that maybe you put off. Like job hunting can be pretty hard, and to sit down and fill out an application can take an hour. And so maybe you're putting it off, or maybe you don't even know what you're looking for, but you're avoiding looking at what's out there because it feels daunting and scary. And so it's easy to get distracted and do some other stuff. And so the benefit of being in a room with people is that you're accountable. And there are people not watching you, what are you working on now? How about now? Are you getting your work done? But you've got people on the Zoom screen. I don't know if you ever wanted to see that much of a close-up of my face, but there it was. So you've got people on a Zoom screen who are cheering you on and cheering themselves on. And so $11 gets you accountability, and it gets you company, and it gets you the ability to sit down and do a thing that you've been putting off. And the value is just awesome. As this grows, I'm going to be adding other times and days. 11 o'clock Eastern is not awesome for everybody. It's not great for West Coast people and people in Hawaii. And it is good for East Coast, Central, maybe Mountain, and across the pond. And all are welcome. It's Zoom, so it's, you're not going to have long distance charges or anything like that. All you need is your internet connection. And so I encourage you to give it a try. I will put the link to sign up. I'm not sure if that translates out to LinkedIn. I see it posted to Facebook and YouTube, but I can add it. I don't know if this is going to really help us, um, but I can add it to the uh, the screen here. So this is the link to sign up for co-working, virtual co-working. And if you've got questions about it, just shoot me a DM. I'm happy to chat with you about it and tell you what we've done and how much fun that's been. And I hope to see you there. And if there are other days of the week and other times where you would think about doing this, um, let me know. I'm going to be planning a second day at some point once we get a little bit more momentum on the first day. And Margot, if you're still here, I don't know if this is what Ross's group looks like as well, but if it is, then cool. The more the merrier doing this kind of thing. And if it's different or a different day that works better for you, check out Ross Brouse's accountability group. And that's it. That's the show, guys. That's the talk for tonight. I'm so glad to be back live. I forget how much I like it when I take a couple of weeks off of it. So I'll be back. Don't start missing me. And let me know again in the comments if there's anything specific you want to hear about, anything specific you want me to talk about, any questions that you have about the virtual co-working. And I hope to see you. Have a great night, everybody.